Okay, so today we're going to talk about volume. It is on page 402, and you can follow along. So, volume, we start off with the definition, and the official definition that the book gives us is the number of cubic units of a solid figure contains. So, you'll have a figure, and then it's how much is in there. So, another definition I found from the internet was the amount of space a substance or an object occupies. So the how much space it occupies. So I don't know if you remember when we talked about volume a while ago, that we talked about which tin would have a bigger volume. If we were to fill them up with water, which one would have a bigger volume? The big one, right? Because it can contain more. So that's basically what volume is. We're trying to figure out space, how much space something can hold. We can measure this by feet, yards, inches, centimeters, decimeters, millimeters, etc. All of those different kinds of measurements. Formula is important, so I hope you're taking down notes or jotting it down on your homework or something. But the formula, one of the ways you can see it, and yesterday's assignment was cubic, so you were able to count all of the cubes. You can definitely count all of the cubes, or you can use the formula length times width times height. Okay? I have another thing that is easy to remember, and it's a little dance, and it's area of the base times height. All right, you can practice it several times, and it stuck with me since I was in 6th grade. So it's area of the base times height. Area of the base times height, right? And you have to do that motion. So area of the base times height. So what that means is that you are finding the area of the base, so the bottom part, and then you're going to multiply the height. So if you break it down, that's going to be the length, the width, and the height. So area of the base times the height. Okay? So yesterday you had to cover cubic units. And basically what that had you do was look at a shape, and you had to go in and count how many. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We know that there's 7 and 8 in the back. But if we were to break it down, instead of counting all of that, because sometimes shapes, we can't really see all of the shapes in the back. Like we know that there's one in the back over there, and then this one, but we can't really see them. So we could count 1, 2, and it gives us, here on the side we have 2. Here going down 1, 2. Here on the side 1, 2. Okay. If we were to use area of the base, so we know that the base, the bottom part would be 2 by 2, right? 2 by 2. So area of the base, 2 times 2 is 4, which I already have here, 2 times 2, times the height, which is this top part, which is this other 2. And 4 times 2 is 8 inches cubed. Because we're talking about volume now and not area, we have to include this cubed. Okay? Another example from yesterday, you might have seen something like this, or yeah, from yesterday. We can go in and count each cube. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we know that there's 6 cubes in there and six units we can fill. Another way would be to count 1, 2 that go here. Another one would be there's 1 only, and then there's 3 at the bottom. So we could do the area of the base. So the base would be this bottom part, which is 3. The base would be 3 by 2. So that is the area. If I just wanted to find the bottom part, the area of the base, which is 6. And then I also have to remember that 1. So 6 times 1 is 6 millimeters cubed. So the area of the base times the height. Or you could take all of the measurements and just multiply them all together. All right, but if we don't have the cubes that we can see, we can definitely just take all of these numbers and multiply. It really doesn't matter in what order you put them, but if you follow the area of the base times the height, it's gonna help you out a little bit. So we know that this base right here is what I'm looking for, that I'm gonna start. It's a really bad base. Let me fix that. Okay, so this base, I wanna know what this bottom part is. So that, the bottom part is gonna be 8 times 2, that is the area. 8 times 2 is going to give us 16 times the height, right? This is the height, this is the height, this is how tall it is, the height. Kind of like your height, Miss T's height, right? So this 16 times the 3, I'm gonna multiply that, and can't do that in my head. I believe it's 48. If you guys get something else, let me know. Inches. What? Inches what? Squared. That little 3 is important. I made it too big. It just needs to be dangling up here. Kind of, is it squared? No, it's not squared. Cubed. I'm sorry. It is cubed, not squared. Cubed is when we do area, and then when we do volume, because we add 3 different dimensions, that's when we do cubed. Okay, next one, and I'll remember to say cubed, cubed, cubed. The area of the base, so I'm looking for this base. Okay, just so we could see kind of the 3D shape. I want to find this base right here, and I know that that is 10 times 7, which is 70. So this bottom part is 70, but I want to find the whole thing, how much I can fill it up. So I'm going to find the height, which is 2 times 2. So I did area of the base times the height. So that gives us 140 yards squared. Okay? And that is basically it. If you find that this was too difficult, you can always go ahead and find other videos online. I gave you different ways of doing it. You could definitely do length times width times height. You can count them if that option is available, count the cubes inside, or you can find the area of the base, so find the bottom part, and then just multiply the height.